So I've been asked to share my recipe for Eldritch horror. Now, my family has been cooking this secretly for generations, but now that the portals have opened and horrors are easier to get, there's no reason to keep it quiet. A lot of people, they fuss and they whine about eating horrors. They're like, oh, you could get dystopian enabled with parasites or lose your soul to the Void Lord and become his mindless servant. I mean, it's possible, but it's unlikely. Now, the FDA says not to eat horrors, but they also say not to eat raw cookie dough. Now this one here, this is a flying horror, so it's going to taste a lot like chicken but gamey. They're all at least a little bit gamey. Now if you can, you want to get a young horror, preferably not a truly eldritch one. They're best while they're still young, not more than about 1,000 years old if you can find one. The older they get, the tougher and gamier the meat is. Eating one that's really old is like chewing on shoe leather attitude. And don't try to buy horror meat off the dark web. I know it's there, but more than likely you're just going to get chicken. And the seller might even put a little poison on there just for the lulz. Seriously, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That one's on you. Now, they don't usually live in cities. They prefer secluded forests or mountains or rivers, occasionally oceans. If you really want to find one, look for a small town with an ominous feeling to it that has an unsettling past and locals that aren't quite right, but you don't know why. That's generally a horror's favorite place to live, if you can call what they do living. But those kind of places are just getting scarce. And don't come at me in the comments for eating this. It's a cultural dish, and it's an important part of my heritage. And if you've ever eaten a hot dog, then you know what? You've eaten worse than this, trust me. In fact, okay, this is a good memory, but I remember when I was a kid, we used to use the meat as part of a ritual that... Never mind. Anyway, you can tell how old they are by how they act, not by their size. The older ones tend to just come in swinging at you. You'll probably die. Now, there's only been a few of those in this realm anyway that I've ever heard of. I ate truly eldritch beast once. It was not good. The younger ones, they love to talk themselves up, and they usually have some ridiculous names. This one here was called Sarg the Unquenchable. I know that was his name because he made sure to tell us 3 times, along with some big speech about how he's going to destroy reality. Now, you know his mama did not name him Sarg the Unquenchable. He probably had some simple name like Glug and was just acting like a human middle schooler who wants to be edgy and tries to make everybody call him Dragon or something. Well, Sarg the Unquenchable was entirely quenchable. That's why I'm cooking him now. Okay, so back to cooking. You're doing the community a service by eating horrors. Otherwise, the carcass has to be destroyed, which is a complicated process, or it just gets left out to rot. Then it fouls the land and causes unnameable insanity beyond our imagination to befall the populace. No one wants that. Now, the sourcing is the hard part. After that, if it was a flying horror, cook it like chicken. Well, gamey chicken. If it was a land dweller, you just cook it like pork or beef. Now, I don't really like the water-dwelling horrors. They taste like low tide to me, except for the tentacles. Those are basically truck-sized calamari, and I freaking love me some fried horror tentacles. Okay, well, I deboned Sarg here, and I cut the meat into bite-sized pieces. Next, I'm just going to cook it with some olive oil and Tony Cheshires. And that's it. Just don't eat it too often. My grandmother used to eat this 2 or 3 times a week, and towards the end of her life, she just started babbling about how the Void Lord was coming soon. I mean, we even had to keep her from running into a portal to go serve her new masters, she called it. I don't even think the Void Lord exists. And I mean, that almost certainly won't happen to you, so don't worry about it. Now we're going to plate it up with some rice and any vegetable. Doesn't really matter what vegetable you use. Wait. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got a little distracted there. Anyway, you throw some cilantro on there and you got yourself a real good meal. Enjoy.